Yeah, let's not rehearse or anything. Let's just say whatever. Okay. Are you ready?
Welcome to the last episode of the Creep Show Review.
We're gonna
I'm your
review.
host, Kat.
Oh, God. I'm Kevin.
That's Kevin. Alright, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We're gonna review our last short film that we made, which was The Laundry Room. The opening shot, originally I had a just stationary shot framed within the doorway, but then my boyfriend helped with camera movements, and I was like, you know what, let's add a little pan because I lost my SD card or left it at school, my classroom, and then had to reshoot everything the day before.
You want to talk about the color correction you did too?
I added a little blue hue to it. The one scene of me walking towards the door, that it looked a little off-colored though, but since it was kind of crunch for time, because I had to re-edit everything, I just left it as it was. Kind of brightened up the highlights and mid-tones, but brought down the shadows.
Another thing I've written down is that backlit shot with your boyfriend, I'm assuming?
Yep. He played the spooky figure in the dark. I used just a $20 light that you get from Walmart. That's a little floodlight that recharges. I used my little pop-up reflector. This thing is pretty handy for white balancing it. It just kind of folds up nicely and unfolds.
Whoa.
It's dangerous. I just had the light pointed directly onto this, and this was what reflected onto my boyfriend to make that cool backlight.
The handheld shot where you're like coming towards the camera.
I wish I would have kind of zoomed it in more, even in post-production. I didn't think about it. I was just trying to get it done. It would have been cool to have it more in your face kind of thing, instead of I was kind of too far away from the camera. For my boyfriend not being a camera genius, he did a pretty good job. So good job, Ryan. Good job. You get a lot of shout out today.
Yeah, Ryan.
For being camera boy.
The last shot too.
I had my one light, I moved it behind me.
You got hairs on you.
I
It was
have
like
a
annoying me the whole
dog.
time.
Like how I had the light angled was it kind of made that room really dark, so it kind of worked out just fine. When the shot of me turning back on the light, I look really judgmental rather than scared. So my acting's a little off there. I'm not an actress. I'm just an amateur.
Neither of us are actresses. Start.
Let's go on talking about our favorite horror movies. Number one horror movie in your list is what, Kevin?
I wouldn't say it's my number one, but I just couldn't think of anything else. I mean, it's still like a very good movie, I think. It's called It Follows. I think it's a 2014 film. Don't know who directed it. Don't really care. I don't know, I just really like it. It's like artsy. Lots of like artsy shots. And one scene that comes to mind where it's like everybody's at like a pool and they're like trying to kill it or whatever, and the whole pool fills up with like blood. I'm thinking about it now, and there's like foreshadowing in the movie where like the main character's like in a pool. I think there's like multiple scenes where she's like in a pool, so I guess that like alludes to like that later scene. Also, one cool thing about the movie, not like by like it's not like a shot or like a film standpoint type thing, but it's just the soundtrack is really cool. It's done by a guy that does like video game soundtracks. Disaster piece.
My favorite movie is actually a series of movies, and it is The Nightmare on Elm Street. My favorite is the crossover with Freddy vs. Jason. That's my favorite.
What's like your favorite scene from that franchise?
I really like the camera shot of when the professors or doctor or whatever he is from the sleep people is sitting at his desk at night, and the camera pans from the side of the door frame, but then from there it goes into the room and like goes up close onto the keyboard of him typing, and then just before that it goes into the room, onto the computer monitor, down to the keyboard, and up to his face. And then that's when it does a hard cut to the computer monitor again. Pat, what's your favorite spooky movie?
Favorite what movie?
Scary movie. What's your favorite scary movie?
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon. What's that about?
It's about a haunted, possessed spaceship. Are you recording this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our last review.
Whoa.
What the hell was that? Hey, knock back. Thanks for tuning in for another 13 minutes or less Creepshow review. What should we expect for our last episode, you wonder? I don't know. Tune in next week for the final episode of the Creepshow. Kevin, it's about time you sit down.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we're gonna kill the show.
I don't know what it's gonna be.
We don't know.
I'll bleep out the frick. I'll bleep out the frickin' so it sounds like I said the F word.